Yo everyone, Mercule here, and today we're gonna look at the scrap guide. It's a really nice guide, I think. It was made by someone in Korea, I'm pretty sure, and this guy made it into a Japanese guide. But yeah, the Korean got 1k LP in Korea, one-tricking it, and ranked up extremely quickly. Maybe some of you, including me, 1k doesn't really sound like that good, but if you only play one comp, you will know it well if you get 1k, for sure. There's a lot to learn from this. So I'm not going to go through it all, but yeah, just the main things, because I thought some of the things were really, really useful in like every game. And yeah, gonna go through it. So first of all, one important thing about scrap is, of course, you play the 6 scrap units first of all, but then who are the 2 other units that you play? Like, you have many options. And here we can see the main options that they recommend. So first of all, you need to have the lease. And as your second one, you want to have one of these. So first, the best one is having a Corky or a Echo 2 in addition to the one you already have. So a second one. Otherwise, the ranking is 2-star Civica, 2-star Vi, Corky Echo, 1-star with items. Otherwise, a Tristana. Otherwise, a Civica 1. Otherwise, Vi 1. So basically, uh, yeah, it's not much to say, but especially if you have items, it's really nice having a second Corky or Echo. I think this is the main thing people don't really see, but it's really, really nice. And also, people maybe overrate the Tristana. If you hit like a Vi 2 or a Civica 2, that can be really good, especially if you have random items for it, like a TG or something. Um, it's more expensive though, so you often go for the Tristana, and it's good. But yeah, just so you know, if you have the money, if you can go for it, a Vi 2 can be really good instead, or a Civica. And something nice about that build as well is that if you don't hit Quirky 2, it's even better because you can backline carry your GP for a while. And he's gonna be basically as strong as Quirky. So yeah, it can be really good, and you're gonna stabilize a lot. So yeah, I think that's one of the main things. That was really interesting. Then we get to the items. Even in Challenger, I see so many do this wrong, or like they don't really think about it enough. Um, but the components you have left are really important in Scrap, and also the main components you go for are also really important. And basically, what you want is for Corky, have a crit, ability crit thing, and then damage. Usually, I tend to go for less Whisper, since you need some kind of armor shred or sunder. But yeah, that could also be a even shroud on some random unit frontline sometimes, or a less Whisper on the GP. But yeah, usually it becomes less Whisper on Corky. And then you want the belt ideally on the Corky, since you get the guard breaker, and it can be really, very good. This, I would say, the belt here and then the tier on Echo are the main ones to remember. The rest are like they're pretty good, but it's not as important. But the tier is always harsh, so you get the healing and a good item. And this is also always a guard breaker, and you always want to crit item, so the guard breaker is really valuable. Then GP, I wouldn't focus too much here. He's usually your leftovers. Then we get to Echo. Basically, what you want is, I wouldn't try going for too good items on him, but since you have the tier, you have the Hosh, you have healing, but your second item, you kinda don't mind more healing. Otherwise, some damage or some AP tank item is good, and the decap is really good as well, since you don't have any form of raw AP, so getting the raw AP can be super good. Then we get to Rumble. For Rumble, it's kind of a similar story. Usually you end up with random AP items on them or your echo kind of items. So yeah, I wouldn't worry too much. Same for these. I mean, put a tank item on Trundle, and then on Powder, like you get the Crown Guard with this, so it's really nice, but you shouldn't care too much. But yeah, these are important and definitely worth remembering, like Echo and Quirky especially. Then for augments. Augments are pretty interesting. Here we can see like tier list. It's basically the item augments on silver, not that interesting. Yeah, Pandora's just not as good of a augment, like in general, so it's here. The reason emblems are here as well is because they count as items. I feel like people forget this often, but they do. So it can be really good, especially in like a mess encounter or something. It's really worth thinking about. That's also why this augment is like SS, the one that gives you 6 emblems. So if you see this one, definitely pick it. Otherwise, I mean, obviously the scrap emblem or augments, but another one that I think not everyone knows about is this one, which is Reunite or something, I think. Uh, I'm not sure about the name, but it's a Vi Echo one. Um, it got buffed a lot since like the start, and yeah, you want to play Vi and Echo anyways, and this is really good right now. So yeah, definitely take this, especially if you like get your first Echo or can level up your Echo from it. It's insane. Besides that, it's basically like the item augments. Yeah, these ones are the best. Mainly because they are just either more items or higher value in general augments. So yeah, these are the main ones to look for. Otherwise, these are fine, but like they don't make as much sense. Like the runans, for example, like you don't really want runans, but it's an item and it's like fine. So, but yeah, there are downsides, but these are like the no downside um, item augments. And for wandering, you wouldn't take this like you wouldn't just play scrap with this, but if you get a good scrap emblems. Yeah, and then for prismatic, the best ones, and here I actually learned something. First of all, flexible, but then this one, the sponging, I think it is, or which one is it? Yeah, sponging. This one is also really, really good. I hadn't thought about this, I don't know why, but it's really good. So, combat start, up to 6 champions with 1 or fewer items gain a copy of a random completed item from the nearest itemized ally. I guess I didn't think it worked with scrap, but yeah, so even I learned something. I guess it's likely extremely known, but if I didn't know it, I feel like someone else didn't know it, and yeah. But otherwise, all of these give a ton of items or emblems, or like the Scramp emblem, which is obviously good as well. And here we in the A tier we also see many that give many emblems, like the Golem having many emblems or items. I mean, I meant the items before as well. And here the swords, a lot of swords, really good. Then another thing people don't think about often is the ambusher. Ambusher is really, really good. It's really good on Quirky and it's really good on Rumble as well. But usually Quirky, and then you don't build the IE. Um, yeah, it doesn't sound that good, but yeah, when you get it, it just helps you so much with damage, both for Quirky and Echo, that yeah. Then the rest are like just generic item augments here that are fine, but not that good. And here, like ones that don't make as much sense, but give items. Then we have some artifacts here. I didn't really know all of these were super good. I mean, snipers make sense when you think about it. You get a safer echo and a lot of damage. It's good. Um, Also, Sonya's obviously good. I don't like, I mean, a tank AP unit is gonna be good on him. Then Corky, Gold Collector, obviously good. But this one, I did not know this item was good. Is it Prowler's Claw? I think it's called that. Might be wrong. But yeah, this one is apparently good. And you can just, yeah, it's Prowler's Claw. Um, and they recommend it since you can fly around, use the skill, teleport back to your corner. I kinda trust it. I wouldn't go for this if you get it like really early, but if you get it late and already have a quirky, I can definitely see it work. Or if you have a good start for prowlers, but don't really know what to play, you can definitely go into this, I guess. It's good to know. Might not be as good as they say here, but yeah, I think it's at least pretty good. And then here you get gold from this. It can be good early, fine later. Yeah. For anomalies, there's different ones you can go for. Um, but I think some of the most interesting ones worth mentioning are like center of the universe, where you put GP in the center row, like this. Otherwise, infectious is good since you have so much tankiness and all of your units have many items. So like buffing your whole team is just makes sense if you have a lot of HP. Last chance echo, dramatic entrance. Yeah, nothing special with those, I would say. I mean, yeah, I guess last chance echo, the one where you die and you revive, is pretty cool. Maybe not obvious. Good on echo. The rest are just like dramatic entrance is fine and everything. Not really worth mentioning, I think, or talking about. But and then the positioning, something like this. Uh, yeah, usually you do something like this, protect your echo. Don't want to have him on the edge. Nothing really special. You could frontline your Corki as well. I don't really think it matters much. But yeah, since he flies back anyways. But yeah, the main thing is you want to try being. If you think you can kill the opponent's melee carry, you want to be on the same side, otherwise on the opposite. And against non-melee carries, you kind of want to be on the same side usually, especially against sniper, but otherwise as well, since you're kind of tanky and you can probably get to their carry before they kill you. Then this is the center of the universe positioning with GP. Lastly, for early game, there's a few different ways to do it. I would say this patch, it's kind of easy stage 2 or stage 2 to win, since so many are playing reroll. So just play like around your bruisers and some scrap, usually powder trundle, like stab. And the best you can get is ambushers, but you can also play something like powder, not that great, but it's fine, or GP if you hit GP. You can even play TF with AP items. So there's a few alternatives. You can also play it from loose streak and it's fine, but a lot harder now in a reroll meta. You usually lose a lot of HP stage 3 then. But yeah, that's basically it, I think. Not much else to go through. Obviously, since after looking at these items, don't make too many tank items, try to avoid them at all cost, make stuff like this instead, and hopefully you know scrap better now. And yeah, see you next time. Peace.